Hey everyone, and welcome back to another ModX video. So today marks 2 weeks since Killjoy was officially released, and I think that's enough time to figure out if Killjoy is actually good or not. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the agent today, and hopefully you guys do agree with me, but if you don't, just let me know in the comments what you guys have to think about her, because I would love to hear your guys' opinion, and hopefully we can have civil discussions in there and not you guys just flaming me. So this video is going to be broken up into 2 parts. We're going to have the attacking portion and then the defending portion. At the end of each portion, I'm going to give a grade for Killjoy, whether she's good at attacking, good at defending, and it's kind of like your school grades once you were in school those days ago. Like you can have A, B, C, D. You guys know the deal. So to start out with attacking. First, she has utility to watch the flanks. I think this is a great thing because we all hate those players that flank in Valorant. If you cannot stop them, then they can easily catch you off guard and win that round. So if you place your utility, you're able to watch those flanks, and it's going to help you win way more rounds by not having people catch you off guard. You want the other team to play as predictable as possible because then you can start to expect things happening. So now moving on to our next one, we have she doesn't have utility that helps her peek. This is one of the biggest cons I see with Killjoy, because if you cannot have utility to help you peek, that means you are constantly dry peeking. So maybe you guys weren't too clear about what I mean by the utility that helps peek, and this is a smoke or a flash. The flash is going to blind players, allowing you to peek right then. And then the smoke just is able to clear out enemy visions, and that is very helpful. So that's why I don't think that she's a great agent when attacking, but you can easily counter this. For one, you can't contest mid all that much. You need to just learn to just push the sites, use lineups and everything, and just get onto sites easily. But if you go through mid, I feel like it's just exposing yourself to more angles when you don't really have to. You also really need to stay with your teammates because of the fact that you don't have that utility, because you might be able to stay with a duelist that's able to flash, or maybe a controller that's able to smoke. It's just all up to your team comp, but I would definitely recommend staying with your other teammates so that even if you do die off of a dry peak, your teammates are able to trade and you guys don't lose numbers for that match. Now, moving on to our next kind of tip. I don't know what these are called. I guess analysis point. We'll call it that. That sounds smart enough. So we have Postplant is just like defense, so she works really well on attack. And the reason why I say this is because we all know once you get that spike planted, the other team has 40 seconds to try to defuse. So to start out the round, you're on attack side trying to go ahead and plant the spike, but as soon as you plant that spike, you move and transition more into a defending role. So that's why Killjoy is amazing. We all know so far in the game, Killjoy has been superior at defending in Valorant. So if you just treat the post-plant situations like you're playing defense the whole round, then she's gonna shine. Our next tip is ultimate makes players become super or ultra attacking minded or ultra defending minded. And this is going to lead to players making mistakes. If you try to get a player to play out of their comfort zone, you're going to see them messing up a lot. So if you place that ultimate with like 20 seconds left, then there's 13 seconds that they don't have anymore. And that leaves just 7 seconds on the clock for them to make their move and clear everyone and end up defusing the spike. So there's a ton of unique utility and ultimate moves that you can make in order to try to go ahead and win more rounds. So just making players play out of their comfort zone is going to help whenever you're attacking with Killjoy, and that's one of my favorite parts about using her ultimate. Now our next thing, and it's our last part for attacking side, there are lineups for her nano swarm grenades that will help you flush out commonly held areas. This is the one like opposition to my point about how she doesn't have any utility that helps her peak. If you're able to throw a lineup that basically clears out a commonly held area, then you're able to go ahead and peek off of that and hopefully catch the player running away, because players don't like to be hit by the nano swarm grenade. If you stay inside that thing, you're definitely dead. So players will just run out, and then hopefully you can peek off of that and get the kill. So that's all I have for the attacking side of Killjoy. And overall, for a grade, I'm going to give her a B, just because we have Postplant where you treat it like defense, and that really raises her score. If we didn't talk about Postplant, I'd probably give her a C because she's not that great, but she's not too bad at it either. So That's all I have for the attacking side. Now let's go ahead and transition into defending. So with defending, we already know she's the best defending agent in the game. Some people might be like, well, Sage and Cypher are great options too, but none of their utility can really kill somebody, and that's why I have to give it to Killjoy, because Killjoy is basically a combination of Cypher and Raze and maybe a bit of Viper in there. So she's basically like that food where you put different types of food all into one like bowl and call it a meal. She's like that. I don't know the word for it, but that's what she is. And then, like, if you're able to combine her with another Sentinel, you create a power duo. For example, if you combine a Killjoy and a Cypher, you're going to win so many rounds on defense because you have those Cypher tripwires to gain intel. You have the turret, you have the nano swarm grenade, you have the alarm bot, you have the Cypher cam, you have the Cypher cage. There's so many options, and you just find those unique abilities combos, which I might be releasing a video on next because that actually sounds like a really cool idea. That's just my mental note. And so if you're able to learn how to combine different agents' utility, it can really help you in Valorant. Our next analysis point is that the turret can tell you key information, like when players are about to push on the site. Players normally will like jiggle peek to try to gain info, but as soon as that turret spots somebody, it's going to start shooting a 3-round burst. So if it starts shooting, then you know that the players might be there, or at least one of them will be there. A lot of them might be behind them, and then you can kind of play it as you wish. You can maybe have somebody rotate off another site, but that's always up to you. Our next point is that Alarm Bot makes players take 2 times damage. I know you probably already know this, but once you combine this with the Nano Swarm Grenade, it calls for an insta-death. If you can place it and players rush out and they just stand in that Nano Swarm Grenade for just a bit and you time it right, they're dead. It basically destroys a whole attacking setup or mindset that they want to go into it with. If they see that Nano Swarm Grenade and the Alarm Bot pop, then they can basically die and it changes the round. You can also learn the best defensive setups to stop a push from anywhere on the map. I personally have made videos on this, and we're going to be talking more about that in like the next few minutes. But the next point I have, and the last point I have, is your team can stack the site Killjoy isn't playing on because she's able to solo hold sites. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this, but we're moving into the triple sentinel comp being the meta, and that means that you team up a Killjoy with either a Sage or a Killjoy with a Cypher, and then you throw everybody else on the other site, and this is going to help you guys a lot. I made a whole video on that as well, so just go check the channel for that one. So now overall, what would I give her as for a grade for defense? You already know it's going to be an A. That's 90 and above. You just made your parents happy in school. We could even go far enough to say like a 100, but I personally still don't think that we're ready to give Killjoy that ultimate title of being like a 100 on defense, like the perfect defending agent. Like, she's really good. She's the best right now, but I feel like there are still new ways that people can learn how to use her to make her the best, and we just haven't gotten to that so far. But yeah, that's going to be my video on my Killjoy thoughts, my reactions after 2 weeks. And if you haven't already, subscribe with notifications on to never miss an upload, because we're uploading daily Valorant content to help you guys out. But before you go ahead and click off of this video, you need to watch one of the 2 items that just popped up on your screen. On the left, you will see a whole playlist that I have been working on since Killjoy came out that shows you the best tips and tricks in order to play her like the pros. And if you want something other than that, then maybe try out the right side of your screen where we have a video that I personally think that you guys would really enjoy. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I will see you all in the next one.